Hey everybody, in today's video we are recapping the first race of the 2024 Tuesday night Winston Salem series. We're at the Fairgrounds tonight. Let's jump on the race stats real quick. 44 minutes long, average speed of 25.8, and we're riding along with Jake tonight, and his normalized power was 282 watts. If you guys can tell real quick, the conditions are pretty terrible. There's a lot of standing water on the track. You guys are familiar with this course if you've watched any of our videos. We have plenty of videos of this track in the archive, so feel free to check those out. Today we are riding along with Jake. This is the 3-4 race, and I believe there was anywhere from like 12 to 11 starters on the line. Not that many people showed up just because the conditions were so bad. You can clearly see all the standing water everywhere. I'm not sure if it was actively raining on them. I couldn't tell from the footage, but it's soaking wet out there. The roads are. But if you look up the road, like two guys just attacked from the gun. Great strategy, in my opinion, on a wet and sketchy course. You can catch a lot of people on their heels and really kind of get a good gap from the start, and maybe you can stay away and you know, maybe that's the race from the start. So, but we've got Jeremy right there going up the road. He's following the rider in the white. So we have 3 Newtype riders. We're riding along with Jake. Jeremy is right up the road, and then we also have Logan. You'll see as well. So we got 3 teammates. So it's essentially 3 versus like 9 or 8 in this race. So Jeremy's up the road. Now we have a chase starting on the right. Logan's doing a great job right there, covering that wheel, just slotting in right behind him and kind of disrupting a little bit. So we're pushing in about 4 minutes in. There's 3 guys up the road right now. You'll see them up ahead right there on the left. And Jake's role, who we're riding along with, his role tonight is really just to cover moves and be fresh for the sprint at the end. Jeremy and Logan, who you'll see, their kind of goal was to really disrupt and get the rest of the field tired. If you guys have ever done a race with, you know, pretty low participation, it's normally a lot harder than any other race with a ton of riders, you know, 20 to 40 riders. When you have just lower numbers, it's harder to hide. You're doing more efforts, and for this race specifically, the attacks were relentless. Oh my gosh, that guy, when he got out of the saddle, his sprint was so hard it took him left and almost chopped poor Logan's wheel. No harm, no foul. Moving ahead now, 6 minutes in, just a lap or so later. We're going to have another attack right here on the right. Great time to attack by this rider. And the guys do a great job of just kind of slotting in. You know, we've still got a couple guys up the road. Like, you know, don't really need to be super threatened by this. There's not many people to watch out for because the field's so small. So you can kind of keep tabs on everybody. Jake does a great job just slotting in and trying to conserve energy. So one thing that we kind of noticed here is a lot of the guys are coming up, our teammates are coming up to really get points, and so this is a great opportunity for them to jump in, get some points so we can get some upgrades for upcoming speed week that's about to happen. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. All right, this attack didn't really go anywhere. It ends up getting bring back, so we still have the guys up the road. All right, pushing ahead just a few minutes later. Those guys are still up there, and people are getting antsy, just like this guy on the right. Throws in a really good attack. Here comes Logan on the right, a little delayed on his chase, but not the end of the world. He's got a rider on his wheel. Jake, who we're riding along with, slots in perfectly behind this Cycle Dior rider in the red, and he's just along for the ride, man. Jake's just going to sit in, kind of let this thing happen. He's going to watch the gap in front of him and make sure it doesn't get too big. But most of these guys did the race before this. So there was a 4-5 race right before this. It was only 30 minutes long, but the conditions were exactly the same. And a lot of guys are kind of spent from that race, I would assume. And so you only had a few guys starting this race with fresh legs. Jake being one of them, and I'm sure there was a couple other riders as well. Well, this gap's getting pretty big now, and Jake realizes that guy kind of pulls off. He's wavering a little bit. Jake does a great job right here, burning a match, doing a pretty good effort on this front straightaway to get back up to Logan, because this thing's about to get stitched up. the front of the race is about to get reset, and they've dropped a few riders in the rear of the field. But this is a pretty hard effort. Jake ends up bridging up to there, and we're at the front of the race. All right, 14 minutes in, so we've got like this small selection of riders. It's honestly, the field probably got like split in half. And then we've got Logan right here on the right, putting in an attack. I think this is a great part of the course to put an attack in. You're coming into the chicane, it's wet and sloppy, and if you can catch a couple people off guard and use your momentum through here and use some bike handling skills, you can really get a gap. And that's exactly what he did right here. Jake, who we're riding along with, does a great job of just slotting in, you know, letting these guys in front of him do the work to pull Logan back. Logan gets away for a little while, but ends up not sticking. These guys in the chase group are really hungry to make sure this thing stays together. But Jake's doing a great job right here, just kind of just sitting in and following wheels. That's exactly what he needs to do when we have numbers on our side. Okay, just a lap later, Logan's been reabsorbed, and then Jeremy goes on the left. We have the niche rider in the blue on the right. He's trying to follow him. Perfect counter on the front straightaway by Jeremy. Guys, get ready, get your counter out. These Jeremy and Logan are about to throw back-to-back attacks, and it's about to get a little confusing. So put your lap counter up and see how many times these guys attack in the next couple minutes, because it's gonna get wild. But Jake is really, again, letting those guys go up the road, doing what he can. Appreciate the camera wipe right there. But I know this guy right here in the white has already done one race, and Jake's just being smart and just kind of just surfing wheels behind him. All right, we are 20 minutes in. Jeremy had been brought back, and then boom, perfect counter on the front straightaway by Logan. We have a rider that's going to try and follow him. This guy in the white it looks like he's been on the front for a while. He's wavering a little bit, but Jake, who we're riding along with, is doing exactly what he needs to do. Just sit on the wheel, and no one's really coming around him. You know, there's not many other riders in their little front group, but no one's really wanting to come around Jake to contest or help bring this chase back. So Jake has plenty of time, no concerns in the world. Work on keeping it smooth and riding safe. All right, 22 minutes in, just another lap later. Here comes Jeremy on the left. This is his like second or third attack in a row. The niche rider wants to follow. He's a little late on the surge, but he's going to try and bridge up to Jeremy here. Again, this guy in the white pulls straight to the front, and Jake's happy with this. So I love the way this race has played out so far. Guys have been kind of playing right into our team's hand. All right, so on the left we have a niche rider. We're 25 minutes in. Logan is going to follow the niche rider. He's right on his wheel. He didn't really have to do much of an effort right here. Some guys are pulling through. Now you can finally see who is left over in this front half of the group. And if you look up in the rear cam, it's kind of hard to see. Logan pulls through the front and ends up dropping the niche rider. So now it's just going to be Logan up the road by himself, and we'll reabsorb the niche rider in the blue kit. This was a great attack right here. He essentially went over the top of the niche rider. I thought it was a great move going through the chicane. Again, if you can have a little bit more speed, dodge some of these standing puddles of water, you know, it's going to be great for your momentum and stuff like that. Guys are content right here. This race has been single file for a pretty long time, and man, right here, it was looking really pretty. So, and guys are starting to rotate through, and perfect time team counter by Jeremy. Jeremy sees Logan up the road alone, and he's like, all right, well, these guys aren't going to keep it fast. Well, I'm just going to go join my teammate. Perfect move. So we still have our two teammates up the road, and now we have some counters from a niche rider And then the pace is getting pretty hard. This is a pretty hard chase right here. Jake does a great job of slotting in. And you can see that our teammates are pretty close. We're pretty under threat of getting this thing brought back. But Jake does exactly what he needs to do. This whole race has kind of been a little repetitive where, you know, we got riders going up the road. Jake's just surfing wheels and covering, but that's what you got to do. If you guys want to get guys on the podium and you really want to hurt the rest of the field, especially in a smaller race like this, it's exactly what you need to do. All right, well, we're all reset. It's a small group up front, anywhere from like 6 to 8 guys right here. We have 3 of them. We're 43 minutes in. We are jumping ahead we're on 2 to go right now. So we have about a lap and a half to go. And for the past couple laps, these 3 riders have been on the front, 2 or 3 riders have been on the front in front of our guys, and they've just been kind of keeping it relatively fast. There hasn't been many attacks, so our guys are fresh. And we've got Jake. I don't know if you can hear him in the audio, but he's talking to the guys in front of him, telling them when they need to speed up and slow down and when they need to attack. He's giving the order right now to, all right, throw in the attack. We got to ramp up the lead out and get this thing going. There's the bell, final lap right here. He's barking orders. He's telling them to give everything he's got. So Jeremy needs to go until right at the chicane and keep it fast. We'll see if he can make it all the way there. 700 watts, so we're going pretty quick right now. Jeremy's done. Couldn't make it quite to the chicane, but we have plenty of track left to go. Logan is going to have some juice for us. Keeping it super fast to the chicane, 31 miles an hour. Definitely the fastest they've gone through that the entire race. It's looking pretty good right now. You definitely want to be first coming into this last left-hand bend. Jake is yelling at Logan. He's telling him to floor it. And right now, boom, 30 miles an hour. Jake's going to stand up right here. Give it a good 900 watts. A solid 800 watt. Big dig. Come to the line. Boom. First place for Jake. Second place for Logan. And then boom, I'll throw up the podium pick right now. Third place for Jeremy. We had a team sweep in the Cat 3-4 race. Super hard to do. Doesn't really matter what level you're at or what size race it is. Anytime you can sweep the podium is a really cool and fun achievement. Super excited for the guys. We had a great night of scoring points. Excited to come back out here for the Herbalife course in a couple weeks. So if you guys are in the area, we're looking for some folks to race with. Love the challenge and want to have a good race. So catch you guys out there later.